Hello, this is Dr. Yamada. In this video, I'm going to introduce how to create a presentation ready or publication ready graph. So in the part one video, it is some of the features of the graph, such as adding error bars, changing the color of the color of the fonts and the size of the font, and also adding the axis title. So in this video, I'm going to talk more in detail to make it even better. So one of the first things you might want to change is the color of the bars. So if you try to change the color and just click the bar once and try to change the color, and then as you can see, all the bar colors will change. So one thing you can do is you click on the bar you want to change again, then you can change the color. Something like this. Okay. Another thing you can do is to change the outer frame. So when you copy and paste the graph, as you can see, you see some gray outer frame, which can look ugly. So one way you can do is to actually create a black frame to make it clearer. To do that, right click on the bar graph and you see the outline, right? Then you choose the black line. Or another option, or more common option, is to remove the outer frame. So to do this, you choose not white, but no outline option. Then if you take a look at this figure, see, there is no frame, which looks much cleaner. Another thing you can do is to change the font style. For publication, it's more common to use either Times New Roman, Aptos, Arial, or you can use Georgia. One of these styles will make the figure look more sophisticated. Another thing you can work on is decimal point. Depending on the scientific fields, you want the decimal points to the 1000th decimal points or 100th decimal points. To change that, you double click on the y-axis where the numbers are, and then you go to numbers. You can also change the grid lines here. So to change the grid lines, you click on the grid lines directly, then you can see the major ticks, and you can choose not to include anything, or you can actually add the solid lines, or you can use a different patterns, which may be more common in some fields. Another things to think about is you can also choose not to put the categories that actually enclose that into a legend. Then in this case, you can, so this information and this information is redundant. So you can delete the axis category. Another thing you may have noticed is that you have a space to insert your title. Depending on the style, you can directly type the title over here. However, when it comes to APA style, you don't need to include the title in the figure. So this may look very good when you do a presentation. However, when it comes to a publication, sometimes you don't want to choose different colors. Instead, you want to use a different pattern, or you want to use a grayscale. So choosing grayscale is relatively easy because you can just change the color. But if you want to change the pattern without using many different colors. Sometimes people prefer not to use black bars because it will conceal the error bars. So in that case, you can actually change the pattern. So double click on that, and you click on this icon, changing the color and fill, and you can choose to do pattern fill. So you have many different patterns to choose from, and you can change the pattern like this. And if you want to do more, or for example, you don't want to actually include a line, but you want to include the ticks. And how you can do is you want to click on the y-axis, and then you need to choose the icon that says axis option. If you scroll down, you can find the tick marks. And you can actually include the tick marks inside or outside. So let's pick inside one. So this will look much better. So finally, what you can do here is sometimes you want to choose the range of the data rather than the default version. So in that case, you can click on the y-axis, make sure you're on the format axis over here, the axis option, and then on the very right icon, you can find the axis option. Then you can change, for example, minimum to be 10 rather than 0, or you can even change the minor units to be 2.5, for example. So in the end, by making these edits, when you compare to the default bar graph, it looks completely different. And the last, let's talk a little bit about the APA format. In the APA format, you insert the ID or the number of figures. So if this is the first figure in an essay or a manuscript, it would be figure 1. If it's a third figure you insert, then that would be figure 3. And then you enter the title of the figure. When you put the title must be italicized and capitalize each important word. So each word except for the prepositions and articles. And figure ID should be boldface. When you want to add the supplemental information, you enter NOTE, note. And this NOTE should be italicized. And all the supplemental information should be written in normal letters. So this is the APA format. This format should be the same for the tables too.